All right, so let's kind of take what we learned about making cubes and start to apply it into a command, like a window. So what we can do is we can do import, and I'm going to show you how to save these off and then just call these scripts. It's really easy to do from within here. So like we would save this script in the scripts folder and stuff. Maybe we'll do that in the next video. But import Maya dot commands as MC, and if we want to show a window, we can define a method here. Do show. We'll call it UI. Now, if you're not familiar with what a method is, you can think of them as little reusable chunks of code that we call over and over again. I like to think of them as like little machines, and each machine has a purpose or a quote-unquote method or function. And it's kind of exciting, right? Like, you can use this over and over again, which is nice. So anyway, here's my win. And what this, essentially this variable does is it's going to store a reference to like parameters that we want for a window. So I'm going to do MC dot window, and then let's make sure that we do a dot and not a comma. And then inside of the window here, for the title, I'm going to make it equal to button example. And then what's cool is we can set the width and height. So actually, let's just drag this way over here. So width and height. And we'll make this equal to, we'll make it like a perfect box. We'll do 400 because I've got a pretty high resolution monitor, so I can go 400 by 400 for the box. You might want to go smaller if you're trying to make it for everybody. The next thing we need to do is we need to actually show the window. So I'm going to do show window, or I'm sorry, MC. So all these things that I'm doing MC, they're actually Maya commands that I'm just, because remember, Maya was built using MEL. So they're really more MEL commands that we are accessing through Python. So we want to use these commands. And the window that I want to show is this my window here, which has a title of button example and then the width and the height. We really could just, a better name for this would be make models, right? Like, so say we wanted to make spheres and all this other stuff, but we're going to make a cube with this eventually. The next thing we do is we need to call this method. So you define a method with this define, you write the name of the method, and then these parentheses so that you can pass parameters in later. We'll probably make some stuff where we're going to be doing that. And let's see, with height equals this, which is good. I think it looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and just go back here and call our method. Now you might be wondering, well, why did I tab it all the way over there? Python is based on indents, right? Like it's a quote unquote indent based language, where some of the other languages are called curly brace based languages or curly languages, where you have used curly braces to define an area. And with this, you define an area with an indent. So if I grab this, I'm going to hit Control C to copy it, and then Control E to hit enter. In my other window, I have a window that popped up that says make models. Okay, very cool. But let's say we want to create another method, and we'll call it button function. So let's create another method up here, and we're going to define this. And we're going to call this button function. And arguments, or args, what this does for us is by having this in here, and you can do args with an asterisk too if you want, any arguments that come through here, this automatically handles it for us, which is beautiful. And if you remember before, we had mc.polycube, right? This is something we're completely comfortable with now, if I could just make sure I spell that right. And what this line does is it creates a cube. Well, when I click this, when I click a button, I don't have a button on here yet, but when I click this button, I want to be able to create a cube on the screen. Well, let's say this. I want to do a little bit of job of better organizing inside of here. So if I do MC and I do dot column layout, and what this will allow me to do is stack them up vertically, column layout, and I do something like this. When I let's see, show window. We want it to show window, but before we show the window, we want to make a button. So we're going to do MC dot button, and that button needs a label, and that label is going to be click for cube. It's easy enough. Now it's not going to do anything, right? So because we need to call this button function. Well, in Python, we have a very easy thing where you just say command equals and then the name of the function you want to call, which is this guy right here. And let's go ahead and copy this because I don't want to lose it. And actually what might be cool is I can grab this. Well, here, let me hit Control Enter to make sure that works. Looks like I got an error. So what this says is label is invalid, and it is because it's supposed to be lowercase l. So I'm going to copy this and hit Control Enter. And actually over on the other side of the screen, we have this guy that popped up. And now if I click for cube, you'll see it spawns a cube, which is pretty cool. So let's expand on this in the next video.